Hey everybody, this is Christian Espinosa with Alpine Security. Today's topic is ransomware. So we'll talk about what it is and 3 things we can do to help reduce the likelihood and the impact, otherwise known as a risk, that ransomware will infect our systems. So first off, what is ransomware? Ransomware is simply malware or malicious software. The media, the industry, they'll try to scare you into thinking ransomware is like this supernatural being that requires superpowers to stop. That is all complete BS. Ransomware is just malware. The uniqueness about ransomware is it's malware, but its payload that's delivered and its objective is to hold your data hostage from you, and then to get your data back you have to pay some money or the ransom. So the cyber criminal, they exploit one of your vulnerable systems, they infect it with malware, the malware encrypts your data, you can't access your data anymore unless you pay the ransom. So the data is held hostage. That is ransomware. The 3 things we can do to prevent ransomware and to help us recover if we are infected, number 1 is vulnerability management. Because ransomware is malware, it requires a vulnerability on a system to exploit and take advantage of. If your systems and if your operating systems and your applications are patched, then there is not a vulnerability for the ransomware to take advantage of. Most ransomware and most malware spreads by infecting systems that have not been patched. A lot of people talk about 0-day exploits, but typically ransomware and malware spread by simply infecting unpatched systems, not by 0-day exploits. So the vulnerability management program means we scan our operating systems and our applications on a routine basis. We use a vulnerability scanning tool like Nessus or OpenVAS or Rapid7. We scan routinely, like every 30 days. We look at the operating system. We look at the applications that are installed on the operating system. A lot of people skip those applications, but you should look at both. And if there are vulnerabilities with either of those or both of those, we patch them. If the operating system and the applications are patched, you greatly reduce the likelihood that you're going to be infected with malware or ransomware. The second thing is user training or employee training. It's important to train your employees or your users on tactics that attackers use to spread malware. A common tactic is phishing emails. If you train your users on how to spot a phishing email, they're less likely to click on a link, download an attachment, open the attachment, etc. Also, if you've done number 1 and you've patched your systems, even if a user does open an attachment they receive in a phishing email, the malware delivered in that attachment may not work because your system is patched. Number 3 on the list is backups. It's important to have backups that are current and have been tested. By tested, I mean you've backed stuff up, you've tested the restore procedure. I've encountered many organizations that have backups, but they've never tested that they can restore from the backups. These will not always prevent ransomware, but they'll reduce the likelihood of you being infected. If you are infected, because it's likely you'll miss a system with vulnerability management, it's likely still a user, even though they're trained, may still fall for a phishing email. So even if you still get ransomware, if you have backups, at least you have some options. If you do not have backups, you're pretty much stuck between a rock and a hard place. You either have to pay the ransom or lose all your data. If you have backups, and let's say your backups were done yesterday, you may lose 1 day's worth of data if you choose not to pay the ransom. If anyone has other tips on how to prevent ransomware, please leave them beneath the video as a comment. Please subscribe to our channel. You can click on the little bell and be notified when we have other videos come out. Thanks, and have a great one.